Hello everybody and welcome. This is another video of strategies, tactics and boosts for this week's GP, and this means for the Canada GP. I hoped last video helped you to qualify from the qualifying round to this weekend's races, opening and final round. And so with this video we're going to examine the tracks that we are racing for the opening and final round of the Canadian GP. So as I said, I hope we helped with our last video, and uh, I'm I'm hoping that we're going to do so with this one. Uh, First of all, let's get to see the tracks we are racing this weekend. As you can see, we have 8 dry races, no rain. Okay, sorry. So we start with our first race, which is in Montreal, and we have changes in our strategies since our last video. We raced our qualifying round and we changed some of our strategies. We're going to see about this. So Montreal, then we are visiting Jeddah, Netherlands and Zandvoort, Mexico City, Stavelot, Belgium, Barcelona, Austin, and again we return to Montreal to conclude our opening or final round, depends. So now, as we can see, there is only one race, and this is Jeddah, that we need to be careful with high temperatures and tire degradation. But we're going to see about it when the time comes. Now, let's get. Okay. Yep. This is a small mistake. So, give me one chance to fix my phone here. I just need 1 minute. Okay. I believe now we are ready for this. Yep, it's all working. Sorry, sorry about that. Yeah. As I have told you many times, this is a one-man show. Uh, so sometimes I forget to prepare something, but it's okay. It was only a few seconds. We need it, and let's start with our first track, which is Montreal. We all know that this is a combo track. We have fast straights, we have slow corners. So when we start, I want to to remind you that from last video and now on, you're going to see next to the name of the track, you're going to see up there that we will always be writing this strategy is about these starting positions, when we start in the back or in the middle of the grid, and so on. So keep that in mind, that you can always go back, and without even listening to the video, you can see the strategies depending on where you start in the grid. So if we are at the back or in the middle of the grid, then 5-3 hard soft is a very good choice, although some may find it a little bit slow, but it's a very good choice. Of course, this is another good choice if you are at the back or in the middle of the grid, and this is one of the changes we made. We can do the undercut in Canada. It's a fast track, so it works. 2 laps with the softs, just go along, uh, push only where needed, and then try to recharge our power unit, because we need it in for our second stint, where we are going to push a lot. So most of the IAs will pit on lap 4, so we are executing the undercut, and we did it. It works. Many players did it, and the feedback was positive. So here we are saying to you that you can try it if you want. Now, probably one of the best strategies for Canada, wherever we are, is 2 equal stints with the mediums 4-4. And as you can see, I didn't say it before, but we in Canada you can choose a speed boost like Street Shark. You can use cornering boosts like Koopa and Hook. You can use a combo boost like Merlion or Tune-In. This is what happens, and I have said so. This is what happens when we have a combo track. Everything depends on our boost selection, depends on our of course depends on the track we are racing, but also on our setup weaknesses. So you can choose depending on what you are missing. And now this is a middle and top strategy. Maybe 2-3-3 would work if you are at the top of the grid, but it's even better if you are at the top of the grid or in the middle of the grid to use this strategy 3-3-2 with softs. And this works also like an undercut, because all the AIs will pit on lap 4 or on lap 5. So by pitting on lap 3, we are on track with softs and a full charged power unit, while the the other cars are pitting, while the bots are pitting. So at lap 4 and lap 5, we can push with a full power unit, fully charged. We can push, softs are great, and don't forget and overtake most of them while they are pitting. And don't forget that softs overtake easily in other cars in Canada. So using softs, it's a plus too. Probably I am going to try this strategy, at least for my top driver, and maybe for my second driver I'm going to choose between 4-4 with mediums and 2-3-3 with softs. Haven't decided yet, Maybe I will give it a try in first race, this strategy in 4-4, and in the second race of the opening, this strategy in 2-3-3. So hopefully, if we make it to the final, we will have tried and seen which is the best choice. So don't miss my live streaming of the opening on Saturday. We are going to test all these strategies together. Now, Jeddah, a fast and furious track. Even corners here are very fast. So this is why we have two choices here. One pit stop, not a choice. Two pit stops. Don't forget it's 7 laps now, Jeddah, and 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I haven't. Okay, this is a mistake of mine. Forgive me. I haven't written in Jeddah where the strategies are. It's for wherever you are, back, middle, or top. I will correct it in my next video. So, soft and hard in the end. With the softs, we can do 2 laps, but not without conserving. So, with the softs, we will push a little bit and conserve conserve in big straights, in the fast sections of the track, and so we can do 2 laps with softs. This will help us also to have a fully charged power unit because we are not going to push all the time with by using softs. So 2, 2, 3 soft, hard, and of course you can see Dead Fast Eclipse, Taurus, Firework, Street Shark maybe, but only Fast and Furious boosts, mainly Fast and Furious boosts here. And the second strategy, as you can see, is a little bit different. We use all 3 compounds. We start with the hards, okay, then we start with the hards and push whenever needed. So we make the hard compound be a little bit faster because by its nature it's a slow compound. Then in our second stint we reserve a lot, we conserve a lot, so we fully charge our power unit. And in the last stint you see the medium compound instead of the soft compound, because we need to be able to push in our last stint and to push a lot and do 2 laps in Jeddah. We need the mediums. Softs are not going to make it, at least not with drivers at a low level. If you have drivers, let's say Epic Series Epic 11 or 12 drivers in a very high level, 7 or 8, maybe they can do this stint with softs, but most of the players now can only do it with mediums. And as I always say, see your tire management and decide what your driver is capable of. If he can do it with softs, of course we're going to choose the fastest compound. Okay, that's it with Jeddah, and let's go to Zandvoort, which is again a very simple track. 4-3, 3-4, medium soft. I don't know if we get at level 8, if we max out drivers, if we can do this soft, but at the moment medium soft for free, and of course I would mainly choose cornering boosts and nothing else. Maybe combo boosts because of of the straight in front of the pit lane, but Koopa, Prince, Kawhi, Jin, Wood, all these cornering boosts, Hook, Herald, all these cornering boosts are better for uh, for this track. Soft medium for our second driver, and as you can see, it's for all our starting positions, back, middle, or top of the grid. Next one, Mexico, which is sometimes you can say it a combo track because we see sector 1 has two big straights, but sector 2 and 3 are very slow sectors, are sectors full of turns. Again, you can choose uh, between speed and cornering boosts, but I would mainly suggest cornering boosts for here. So 5-3 medium soft is a very good choice if you are at the back or in the middle of the grid. I would preferably go with Char or Movember for this strategy. Some tire management would be useful because 5 laps with a mediums are marginal. So a little bit of help in tire management, it would be very useful. And of course, Prince here is very useful and a very good choice because if we choose Prince, we're going with no boosting in tire management. We are going to conserve sometimes. So defending, because if we all remember, Prince is all about race start, cornering, and defending. And this 4 in defending is very useful. So when we do strategies like that, oops, okay, this is probably the best and the most popular strategy in Mexico. 4-4 with mediums wherever we start, back, middle, or at the top of the grid. Again, as you can see here, cornering boosts are our best pick for this strategy. And of course, if you are at the middle or of course at the top of the grid, then 2-3-3 and 3-3-2 or 3-2-3, depending on, well, we say that this is we decide our stints depending on our depending on how the race goes, um, but this would be the fastest choice if you start mainly the top of the grid, but also in the middle of the grid, in the higher middle positions, maybe above 14, 13, it will work great. Now, Belgium. In Belgium, first of all, we see big straights. It's very fast, although it's a big track and it takes one lap. One lap is a big lap, and it takes a lot of time. It's a fast track. Um, Even cornering, even the corners of most of the corners of this track are fast corners. So one strategy tried and that we tried and it worked nicely, um, is this one. It's like doing the undercut. If you start at the back or in the middle of the grid, Merlion, soft, medium soft, 1-3-2, it's an undercut and it works great. As you can see, mainly we choose uh, mainly we choose speed boosts, but of course, a boost like Koopa is always useful here. This strategy, in your first lap, you don't push at all, just let your driver do the first lap and get as much get as much uh, power unit boost charged as you can. You can of course push in some spots because you can overtake, in some corners, but that's it. Then in the medium section, you have to be careful with your tire management, uh, but uh, you're not going to be slow. Medium is fast in this track, so don't worry about it. You are going to overtake drivers pitting in second and third lap, because most of them will pit in second and third lap, and then get to do your pit stop in fourth lap with a fully charged power unit and the softs. You are going to be very aggressive, and you can overtake drivers, but you would have already overtaken lots of them because of the undercut. Now, of course, if you are at the back or in the middle of the grid, uh, one pit stop strategy with hards, if you cannot do it with mediums, because it's the same strategy with mediums. um, it's a good choice, but it's a little bit slower than all the others. We are going to gain not too much positions. As I always say, if we start 14, probably, if we have a race without safety cars and rains and all that, probably we are going to end 2 or 3 positions higher. uh, but if you like to have the fastest strategy, this is the one to go. 2 pit stops, all softs. We're going to be aggressive in every stint, especially in the top corners. Let's go and see our map, especially in, let me see, yes, in corners 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. These are especially, mainly in sector 2, is where we are aggressive and where we overtake most of our opponents. So if you want 2 different strategies and not to use the same strategy in your drivers, pick this one for your second driver and this one for your first driver, and I believe you will gain lots of points following this. Now, Barcelona. We raced a lot in Barcelona, and now we know what to do in Barcelona. If you are at the back or in the middle of the grid, 5-3, hard and soft. Of course, here we choose mainly cornering boosts, but we can use combo boosts. Now, um, this is maybe a little bit slow as a strategy, but it works, especially if you are at the back of the grid. Another good strategy, the best maybe strategy if you are at the back or in the middle of the grid, and of course at the top of the grid, is doing one pit stop but starting with the mediums, 2 equal stints, medium, and then our second stint hard. And we change compounds because medium will get us only 4 laps without pushing. So we need in our second stint, we will not push in our first stint. This means 100% power unit. Second stint, we put the hearts on our car and we are able to push a lot, so uh, we are not slow with the hearts. Don't worry about it. Of course, if your driver can support mediums and pushing, medium would be even better. Now, if you are in the middle or at the top of the grid, as you can see, two pit stops will do it. I mainly choose two pit stops for my top driver and 4 for my second driver. So 3-3-2, all softs, and a very good cornering boost will do the work. Don't be afraid of the two pit stops, even if your pit time is a little bit higher. Of course, if you have pit times near 3 seconds, a little bit more, or even below 3 seconds, then it's a no-brainer. Two pit stops will do the job and will be the fastest strategy you can follow. And finally, let's get to Austin. Don't forget, this season Austin is 7 laps. And do not forget that we cannot do magic in Sector 2 like we did last season with Dead Fast. But again, this is a fast track. So, if we are at the back or in the middle of the grid, 4-3 with mediums, 4 laps with the mediums, we can do them by pushing a little bit in our opening lap and then only yellow. Maybe we will need to do some blue button pushing, maybe, but I can manage it without the blue button. I push a little bit in the opening lap, and then only yellow to do the 4 laps. And of course, this means second stint with mediums again. We have a fully charged power unit and we are very aggressive in our second stint. 3 laps and a lot of pushing with mediums, easily done in Austin. As you can see again here, we are between cornering, combo, and speed boosts. You can decide. You can decide uh, by looking at your setup and see what you are missing. As you can see here, uh, Taurus is a very good choice because of speeding. It will give us a better recharging of power unit, and of course some help in overtaking if your driver has low overtaking stats. For our second driver, we can do the opposite. Again, if we are at the back or in the middle of the grid, we can do the opposite uh, strategy, 3-4. But here we have 3 laps with the mediums and then 4 with the hards, because, as I always say, in our last stint, we want to be aggressive. So we need tires. We need tires and we need power unit. This means that uh, we have to pick a compound that will give us the ability to push the red button a lot. And in Austin, we can do 4 laps and push the red button only with hards, at least for now. As I say, if your drivers can do it with medium, great, do it. Don't even think about it. You will be even faster with mediums. Now, if you are at the top of the grid, maybe in the middle of the grid, but I don't know. I would recommend this if you are in the middle of the grid, but it will depend a lot in your race start. if your restart isn't good and you are not at top 5, top 6 after uh, the first half of your opening lap, then it will be difficult for this strategy to work. So mainly I would say, if you are at the top of the grid or you are so confident about your restart, then if you start in the middle of the grid, 2 to 3, you have to be very careful doing 2 pit stops in Austin. If we don't implement this strategy correctly and push the red button when needed, conserve when needed, it will cost us. It can cost us a couple, maybe the win. So you have to practice a lot in Austin. I have done so. You have to practice a lot in Austin in order to get the best out of this to get the best out of this track. Of course, there are different variations uh, of this strategy, as you can see, and let's explain them a little bit. So in this choosing this strategy, this plan means that we are aggressive in our first stint, opening lap aggressive, second lap we don't mind, we are aggressive again too, and when we pit for our second stint, we put the softs on, and then we are just using the yellow button and some conserving in the big straight, so we can recharge our power unit. Last stint, with a fully charged power unit, we push with the mediums, uh, and we can be aggressive. Sorry for that. Now, this plan, this strategy 2-3-2 means that we push again a lot in our first stint, both laps. Then we put softs and go 3 laps. Second stint, we just conserve. We will need a little bit conserving to do 3 laps with the softs. Yellow and blue button only, and then in our last stint, as you can see, we push. We are very aggressive. We are as much aggressive as we were in our first stint. And finally, we don't start with softs. We start with the medium compound, where we are going to push in our opening lap, and in second and third lap we're going to push only to overtake slower cars that are stalling us, and that's it. Second stint again here, just used for we're using it to recharge our power unit, and third stint we push, uh, we are as aggressive as in our other strategies. Now, let's see unstoppable for this track. You see that we have a little bit of help in our power unit, some speed, and 10 plus 10, as you can see here, plus 10 in overtaking. This An overtaking boost in this track is useful, especially if you are using a driver like Hamilton or Sainz, because um, there are many spots uh, in this lap where we can overtake other drivers, and it would be a shame not to easily overtake them because our driver is lacking some skills. So very it's a good choice to boost our um, our driver if it lacks overtaking. I'm using Sainz, and I have seen many players using Sainz and Hamilton because they have great race starts, but they don't have very good overtaking. So it would be useful to choose. Uh, it would be useful to choose a boost like Unstoppable or like Skull, which boosts our overtaking. So, yeah, that's it. We're not going to see again Montreal. We saw Canada. We have seen it lots of times this week. So that's the plan for this weekend. Uh, I hope it was useful. Again, I hope we are helping you, and we're helping you qualify and getting good results. Please don't forget to send us your feedback below this video in the comment section. Of course, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and come back for our next video. Let's see again our tracks: Montreal, Jeddah, Zandvoort, Mexico, Spa, Barcelona, Austin, and again Montreal. I wish everybody good results, qualifying to the final, and then getting the best place, the best position in the final round, and of course on Monday the best rewards. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Take care, everybody.